Hi there, it's Nicole for Lawn Fawn, and this is an XOXO almost all die cut Valentine's card. The only stamping is that small greeting stamped and embossed on the black banner there. Otherwise, everything else is created with dies, and everything is Lawn Fawn. Just a really fun way to create an eye-catching, very graphic Valentine's card. You could do this with some other dies too. There's lots of different scripty dies from Lawn Fawn that you could do this with. The thanks, smile, hello, all would be really fun. You can do the same exact design and just switch up the colors and the greetings for different cards. I've already pre-die cut a bunch of the Kohl's ABC's letters just to save a little bit of time. These are die cut from smooth white cardstock and the chili pepper Lawn Fawn cardstock. Just die cut a few more here that I need. I do have a piercing tool available to pop those out really quickly and easily. It does take a little bit of time, but not as long as you would think to die cut all of these little individual pieces. I've also previously die cut the largest fancy scalloped rectangle stackable frame from chili pepper cardstock and the small dotted rectangle largest frame from that die collection to go on top to layer for my background. While I have my die cutting machine out, I will die cut the second largest stitched heart stackable die from Vellum. This is going to slightly mute the background while keeping with that love or Valentine's theme. From a scrap of black cardstock, I will die cut one of the sentiment banners here, the long one. Long skinny one, I guess I should say. Plus, I have a little piece of fun foam and some stick it that I'm going to apply to both sides of the fun foam. This is going to make a dimensional die cut greeting with the XOXO. Once I have stick it applied to both sides, I'll run that through the Big Shot to really get the adhesive stuck to the fun foam really well. Pull the backing paper off one side and attach a scrap of chili pepper red cardstock, and then die cut the scripty XOXO greeting. From this same little fun foam scrap, I'm die cutting several of the Lawn Fawn hearts as well here in just a little bit. I've got my background pretty much laid out here. I have not adhered anything yet. Go ahead and take the powder tool to my banner, ink up a greeting from the Lawn Fawn Love Letters stamp set and stamp that with Versamark ink. Sprinkle on some white embossing powder and then heat set that with my heat tool. This is a nice long greeting. It's going to fit really well. It goes with the theme of the card. I think it's really cute. I love this greeting. Instead of texting, I made this card, which I think is a really fun. I have a little bit of embossing powder going everywhere, so I went ahead and cleaned that off with my paintbrush, and then I'll heat set that. Heating both sides of my paper. This got just a tiny bit wrinkled. I accidentally did that. I think it'll still work. Once I get some nice strong adhesive on the back of this, it'll flatten it out. On my XOXO greeting, I've layered the banner and that greeting over my vellum heart and applied a layer of glossy accents on the XOXO. While I'm putting together my background, I'm going to set that aside to dry. That's why I went ahead and did that part. For the most part, my background is tone on tone, the white on white XOXO letters. Except I've interspersed a few of the chili pepper red letters throughout as well, just to kind of mix it up, make it a little bit more interesting. It's really fun to create your own backgrounds. I'm using a glue pen to attach all of these letters. This was definitely by far the most time-consuming part of this card. This is a really pretty fast card to make anyway. Even with all of the die cutting and gluing all these letters in place, this card comes together really quickly. What I found out and loved, I at first thought I may have to trim off parts of the letters, which would have been fine, but I found out that the Kohl's ABCs fit, 4 rows of the letters will fit across this design within the dotted border. So I'm lining up the letters with the dotted border and not the edge of the cardstock, which I thought was really fun. I originally started adhering the letters by placing the glue on the back of the letter and taking the letter to the cardstock, and I thought I was getting my fingers into the glue too much. So I started drawing X's and O's on the background with my glue pin and then just placing the letter over that. Worked so much better. My acrylic block serves as a great tool to hold down all of those little pieces until the glue dries, which you can see I'm just moving along pretty quickly. It works great. I'll finish adhering a few of these here. I realized I thought it was a little uneven, which you'll see. I think it needed another red letter down in that bottom left corner. I'm going to peel up one of those and replace it with a red letter instead. All of the little inserts inside of the fancy scalloped rectangle didn't pop out. I'm using the piercing tool to pop any of those extra little pieces out. They're die cut all the way, but they're so teeny tiny they sometimes get stuck in there. And I love the lacy edge of these fancy scalloped dies. Perfect for creating a love themed card. I'll hide some adhesive on the back of this vellum heart behind the glossy accents title and also the banner using some bling glue dots. Center that in the middle of the card and then adhere it down. Here are those hearts that I've die cut using the Lawn Fawn hearts dies, just from that same scrap of fun foam, and stick it with the chili pepper cardstock that I used for the large scripty greeting. I'll create a scattering of these, place a nice layer of glossy accents over the top to really finish it off, make them nice and shiny. I added a couple more. You can't go wrong with these hearts. They're such a fun, nice embellishment. And that, once all of that is dry, I will adhere this whole panel to a white side fold card base. I actually didn't wait till it was dry. I was just kind of careful. But usually I try to wait till it's dry so I don't get my fingers in the glossy accents. And that will finish up this almost, I'd say 99% die cut Valentine's card. Thanks for joining me for this die cut Valentine's card. The supplies I used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos showcasing Lawn Fawn stamps and dies that you might be interested in. Please subscribe for weekly card making and stamping videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.